All right, so if you haven't checked out the other ones, I am doing this as the snake side and this as the Dorito side, just because it is a asymmetrical layout here for the NXL Las Vegas Major. I was gonna say Las Vegas Open. Las Vegas Major, it's right there in front of you, Greg. So thank you to ProEdge and everyone else that supports the channel. Please make sure to check the description for all bunch of goodies and other things that you can sign up for. So check that out in the description, and let's jump into the middle of this field. So this Aztec looks pretty decent. So we'll just go across like that. So from this Aztec, you can drop some shots into both of the Doritos, which means that if you can dive out and beat them there, then you're able to shoot into the gap of where they might want to get to. So you can shoot into all of this here, which means that now they're gonna have a really hard time getting out. Because it's an Aztec, you can stand up over the top as well if you need to, if they start trying to fight against you. And I don't know if it's going to be low enough, or they can get low enough to get out of the way of your paint. That's something that you guys should try. Both my back players and those that are my front players, trying to see if you can crawl up into there. Just something to think about. Don't think that you need to always go in this way. You might be able to crawl and just go up like that. And then shooting over into the other Aztec, so you can shoot that heads up shot. Again, keeping them from going out into this, I'm calling this the snake side, even though it's Doritos over here, but this is the snake side, stopping them from filling out. You do have some decent shots inside as well. So if they are stuck at this tower, you can help them not be able to go up this way. They can still make a move up this way. We'll get into this guy in a second that can help out with that. But yeah, you can at least make their day really difficult. And then of course shooting over into what I'm calling the Dorito side, but I know is the snake corner. So shooting across there. This one is definitely hairy. I don't know how great of a shot that's gonna be, but if they are in here and someone needs help because they're trying to push into the snake, at least you could throw some paint this way and help out. I wouldn't say that this person should be sitting here the whole time. Maybe we get out this weekend and we see that it actually would be beneficial, but that isn't something that, I don't know if that's going to be really worth it. But at least you can stop. We saw in some of the other videos, this snake corner, that's what I'm calling the snake corner, is pretty decent of a bunker. So if we can kind of put pressure on that person, it could be a benefit. So this Aztec here, like we were talking about, if they are stuck at this tower, this person can shoot this way, and then you can kind of just pinch that player and make it where they can't move up into the center. Doesn't mean that other people can't dive across, but at least you can stop that person, and they don't really have a lot of places they can go to. They'd have to try to dive out into paint here or paint here. Where you're going to be most effective though is shooting heads up and then shooting over into the snake side. This one I put here, and I don't know how low or how far it's going to, how high above this little brick, I'm sorry, this little wing it needs to be to actually drop into this zone to eliminate that player. Maybe you have to stand up a little bit taller, but it could be something, but you could stop a player from trying to make a move on the inside or outside shooting from that Aztec. And then if they try to round across here, if they're not super, super low, you have a chance of being able to shoot and maybe catch their pack. I don't think that's going to be 100%. If they stay low enough and they are a good snake player, they should be able to get past you. But at least you can put pressure that way. And again, sometimes it's just making their life more difficult so you can get someone else set up to eliminate them, or you put enough pressure that one of those balls lands on their pack and they are done. Now this back center, I know we jumped across. I said I was going to go this way. Ignore that. We're going to go here now. From here, I put this spot here just because if they are delaying and then filtering out, you're going to be able to shoot into that zone. And you can just walk straight up into it. So you should be relatively safe. Now, if they're running and gunning out, you have to, of course, be careful of the paint coming up over the top. But yeah, now this one that goes across over the top of the wing is going to have to skim the top. So you're going to have to figure out how high above that wing it needs to be to drop into here. Now, this is going to be a shot that if you can practice could be really beneficial. You're gonna have to take a little bit of a step off and really thread this needle through here to shoot into, I'm calling this the Dorito side for this side, but it would be your snake side. Anyone that's trying to dive into here, you can shoot into that. Again, it's a super tight shot, but it's something that maybe could work. And again, shooting back into these zones back here. So this is where it could be a little bit easier because you could shoot over the top of this pin and it should be able to drop into here just fine. But it's this shot here that if you can practice that and get it where they can't dive across and get right into this bigger wing, it could be helpful. So this shot across here is probably my guess where more of these back center players would be shooting. Maybe you have people double up here and you have one player shooting this way and then one shooting this way. I think that this shot is going to be maybe a little bit easier because you have to kind of guess if they're here. You can read the box and see how they're setting up. And then this one is kind of blind, so you can't see if they're diving deep or shallow. But at least over here, when you shoot, I don't know. I think that this could be more effective of a shot for this back center player. Again, these are always first impressions, so who knows? Maybe we get out there and the best shot is blind over the top and you shoot 3 people. I don't know. And then shooting over across here, again, I don't think that you're gonna 100% eliminate a player, but if they dive across and maybe they try to dive wide and go up, you have that shot there. Like maybe you see someone really committing and they get past your lane here and then they dive in. Well, you might be able to catch them in this zone, or if they are sticking out a little bit here, you might be able to catch them there. Moving up more into the middle. Let me flip this around so it's right side up for you guys. And get it centered. So when we're looking across, and sorry, I just flipped it on myself, so I was trying to do all of this. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get back into this. So with this tower, looks solid. I think that this tower is something that is really, it seems really strong, at least on paper, because of how much you can help. So whether it be they're in the middle, you can shoot across into here. So if a player tries to dive across, you might be able to catch them there. Shooting into this little brick, where at least it could push them out this way and then someone else eliminates them. You can shoot into the snake one. You're able to shoot through and shoot into this Aztec. You can shoot into the gap here. So if they have stopped and you can shoot across, well, I think you should be relatively safe. It's a tower, so you can stand up and be okay. Shoot into the Dorito, stop that gap. You can shoot into here. So remember we were talking about maybe people trying to crawl. This would be the player that you really want to stop because they're able to shoot down on you, which makes things more difficult. If this was a Aztec, it might make it a little bit easier, but because it's a tower, they can stand up really tall, maybe get on their tippy toes and shoot down on you more, which makes your life more difficult. They can shoot the outside. So even if someone gets here, if I was playing here and I see someone makes the move, I would just probably start shooting here. Because if they tried to back all the way up and then, I don't know, run across here, I guess that could be something, but that's just kind of weird. But you'd be able to stop that wrap, and then if they crawl up, maybe you see their pack, you can just kind of sit and just catch them while they come across here. So it seems like a solid bunker to get to. Now this center tower looks okay as well. I don't know if it's going to be as strong as this one, but it's something to always consider all of your different options that you have. So shooting across into the Aztec here. So again, maybe you don't delay, you just go straight up into it. You can shoot across on the way up and maybe catch that person as they're going out. Same thing with the snake corner. What we had seen in our snake video, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and go over there. This snake corner seems pretty solid. So if you can stop someone from going there, it could be a benefit. Maybe it's worth it to actually shoot more across here and stop them from going out here than getting into the snake. I don't know. Well, this is why we go out and shoot the paint to see what's going to be the best option. Now, again, these orange lines across here, you can shoot. This is a super tough shot. I already know that's going to be really difficult. I wouldn't say that's 100% guaranteed. This one's going to have a better shot to shoot into that gap. This one you have to shoot between 2 pins. I don't know about that, but maybe you get to the field and these pins are moved a little bit. Sometimes that stuff happens and that allows you to shoot through there. And then of course you can shoot into that Aztec as well. So The good thing with this is you can also delay over, or you have options to be able to move up, maybe even dive across and go in. So you have options from here. This is a decent bunker. I think this one is going to be more support, but this one is a decent one to look at as well. Now this little W, I don't think it's going to be worth really going to, other than a way to, maybe they're starting to shoot you through here and you have to stop. Just knowing that you can shoot the outside, you can shoot over the top of the little brick into that Aztec, and then both of these are in the same line. So if you come up over the top of the little nub, or just to the, in this case it'd be just the left of it, you can shoot across into there, and that might be enough to put them in so you can dive in. I don't know how effective that is going to be, just because if I was here and someone wants to start fighting me through here, I'm just going to turn my gun and start shooting through this gap, and I'll let you fight all day at nothing and just stay tucked in. So yeah, it's just one of those things to consider. And I flipped all the way around again. All right, so this weird center structure. So the wings are solid. I think this whole center, the players that are going to most benefit from this or teams are players that are able to go ahead and move around. So knowing when to move and maybe moving back, you know, how they can best support, those are going to be the players that really thrive in this center structure. I think the tapes are going to be a lot of attack, but this is where that support's coming in, and then knowing some of the other spots that there's decent support. But let's start from this wing and then we'll go across. So this one shoots into that wing and into this snake too, but you can also hold this gap. So maybe you eliminate a player going wide and you dive up, maybe you're here and you dive across, you have that shot there. So it's going to make it really difficult for them to be able to move out wide, because even if they put you in, you just sit back a little bit further and you still have the same shot through here. So it's going to make it where it's almost impossible, unless someone eliminates you, to for them to move across this way, or something just stops working. And then on the inside, you can shoot into that that tower. And then this shot, if you move back a little bit, you can shoot into that Dorito. I think if you're playing here, looking tape way is going to be more effective. And then once you move into the brick, that's when you can decide, how is it that I can help? If there's already a player here, don't move, because if you try to like crawl up, they're going to catch you. The only spot that you'd be safe, it looks like, would be right about here. So they can shoot across here. Actually, this zone right here would be where you would be safe. So you'd have to make it there, and then now you have to fight that person, and that's hoping that no one else is shooting this way. So just know that if they're in this wing, looking this way could be okay, but if you try to crawl, I don't know if it's going to be great. Maybe if you step back and then go up and dive in, but now you're open up to those shots. So you could use that pin to block you out from them, but then you'd have to worry about all these people here. So maybe this is something that you help and then you dive across, or you just go straight into this brick. Again, it's all going to be how the play breaks down and how the point is how it's breaking down. So from this brick, so this way, shooting into this this Aztec, again, if they haven't gone wide, coming here isn't a bad thing. So shooting this gap would be able to stop them from making any movement. They can only come up, which means that they could come through and maybe bunker you, but if you can make it where they can't get wide and you get players real deep, it doesn't even matter. If they try to come through, your players are going to catch them as they come across. If they haven't gotten into the snake structure here, you could shoot into this gap. I think that if they take this inside route, you won't be able to see them, but maybe you see a little pack or something. But you could maybe catch them here, actually. So you just have to turn or send someone to go get them. Over on this side, you have that straight ahead shot and then shooting into the snake again. So this gap is going to be really difficult, but if they're trying to fight you this way, they really can't do anything this way. If they try to run this way and go like that, it'd be really, really weird, and you can shoot that same gap and be relatively safe. So same thing with here. If they do get in and they want to try to fight, you might be able to catch them, you know, a head poking up or something like that. If they move up, you're not going to be able to do anything when they're at the snake 2. But if they move into this snake 3, that's when you can really help out. because you're gonna have to survive. If you don't, then they have a pretty easy shot into you. You really don't have a lot of safety there. And then getting into this wing on their side, of course you can shoot into here. This is where things are gonna, you know, maybe this is more of a closing, so that way you can wrap, or you come across, so that way you can eliminate some players behind someone in going into their snake, so that your Dorito players can move down. It's an option. I think of these three, what I'm seeing is this brick is going to be where you'd want to be until you close. This one you can flip back and forth and help out. Really stick to your job, of course. Don't just flip back and forth just because. You want to be thinking about, how is it that I can best support my team? Did we lose someone on the side? Really listening in. But really, all three of these are pretty solid. So, so that is the middle. Again, tell me what you guys think down in the comments down below. It's definitely a crazy layout. We'll see how things go this weekend. Again, thank you to ProEdge and everyone else that supports the channel. Please, guys, support those that support the channel. Go down below into the description, and there's all the links down there where you can get a bunch of goodies. There's even some free stuff in there. Just putting that out there. So I will see you guys in the next video. I'll have a playing video, of course, and then of course the vlog. So thank you, and as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.